Are you living the Delaware Beach lifestyle? You can't live at the beach and do nothing. This up-and-coming year-round area has lots to offer. Find out where to eat, play, and serve. Living the ultimate dream.
Dylan here, and I want to talk about something that really means a lot to me. So, moving to the beach from Las Vegas, we're talking about this 302 lifestyle thing, and I noticed myself having a really hard time changing. So I want to talk about why is it so hard to change. I'm no expert, but I've done a little research on this topic and personally have tried really hard to make some changes in my own life and my habits. And so let's dive into this a little bit. So why is it so hard to change? Well, from what I understand and what I've learned is that you have, this childhood that you grow up in and, talking about the brain a little bit, your brain has nerve cells in it. And when it's kind of like walking in, a big field or something that has tall grass, right? And you're walking the same path every day for years, right? It could be 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 50 years even. Well, what ends up happening is this path starts you create a path. You literally will walk that path so many times that your path turns into like a dirt road, right? That's how a lot of our roads started. People were walking or taking horses eventually. And these paths became so ingrained that eventually they turn into pavement. Make them permanent. Well, it's no different than your brain. So they say nerve cells that fire together wire together. So when you think something, you literally will have, all these connections, all these nerve cells firing together. And if you ever tried to do something before, what ends up happening is you'll do it, but if you don't repeat that same thing over and over again, you either forget how to do it or so it doesn't fire together anymore, right? So it stops working, or your brain stops using that as a go-to tool. So when you're thinking of something or you have done anything in the past, your frontal lobe, your brain will start being like the orchestrator. It'll call out all of the things and memories that you've had in your past to make a proper decision and to act on whatever it is you want to do. Well, if you do the same thing over and over again, for instance, you're probably saying, why is this? What are you talking about? How does this relate to me? How do you know about any of this stuff? Well, all I know is by experience. So living out in Vegas, I adopted this, I'm always in a hurry. There's always traffic. There's always somewhere to be, somewhere to go. And, I developed a habit for being in a hurry. And another one that you might relate to is your cell phone. So you start diving into the habit of picking up your phone, checking things, asking Google questions, looking at your map, looking at your text message, looking at your Facebook, looking at your Twitter, looking at your LinkedIn, whatever it is. And I'm kind of jumping all over the place with these different habits, but there's all kinds of habits. There's chewing on your fingernails. There's smoking cigarettes. I used to smoke for 12 years. Holy cow. There's all these different habits. Drinking even. So many habits. Not working out. You can just go on and on for all these things. So all of you guys can relate to having these habits. Well, the habit starts after 6 to 8 weeks of doing the same thing over and over again. Your nerve cells fire together, they wire together, and then all of a sudden you have a ingrained path in your brain that says, when you do this, I do this. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I came out here from Las Vegas. I had all these bad habits, I'm from the military. I drank too much. I smoked cigarettes. I was always in a hurry. Even things like arguing or being negative, right? So what I learned is that our brain has 2/3 more brain mass to focus on negative thinking because it's such a large part of our life. Our brain wants to learn what it doesn't like so it can learn what it does like. And so have you ever done something where somebody says something, hey, I'm going to start this new thing, or I'm going to open a thing here, or I'm going to whatever it is, somebody says something positive that they're doing, and the first thing out of your mouth, and I think spouses can relate to this a lot, but the first thing out of your mouth is, well, that's not going to work, or you immediately go to reasons why things aren't going to work or negative thinking. And it's because, and I don't know the exact terms and specific names for parts of the brain and all that stuff, but I'm going to do my best here. I've been diving into this stuff for several years now, and I just love it. Have you heard of float therapy? Holy cow, this is like the biggest secret in America, I think the world. Famous people, athletes, all these people are doing float therapy. And it's called Urban Float in Rehoboth. You can go to urbanfloat.com, click on Rehoboth, and check out these guys. You're basically sitting on 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt. Everything just feels so amazing. And you're on this weightless, de-stressing pod for an hour. I love it. You get a discount your first time. You can also let them know that you're from 302 Lifestyle. Check them out, guys. Sponsored by Urban Float. What's that have to do with 302 Lifestyle? Well, that's what I'm getting to. So I bring all these bad habits. You're from the city, whatever it may be, and here you are. You're at the beach, and you want to adopt this, positive thinking, this new age stuff that's going on, but it's more prevalent around the beaches, I believe, because the beaches has a way of calming people down, de-stressing. The beach, the water is really used as a way for people to unwind, relax. You go on vacation, you want to relax at the beach. Like, that's literally why people come here. So what happens when you're here or you move here and all of a sudden you find yourself doing the same habits? You're in a hurry. If you're like me, you're getting speeding tickets the first 2 years you live here. You're not stopping at stop signs. You're just always in a hurry. You want to look better for the beach, so you try going to the gym and you make it about 2 months or not even a month. New Year's resolution, and you make it about 3 weeks and you stop. You want to be more positive. You want to do all these things, and you just find yourself always being negative and focusing on things that don't support you or anyone in your life. Well, it's because of these habits. And why is it so hard to change? Well, I already mentioned part of it is because change, or AKA a new habit, a lot of chronic illnesses are because it requires a lifestyle change. And a lifestyle change requires you to make new habits in your life. So, Dylan, what do I care about all this stuff? And if I do care, tell me how I can do this. What makes my life easier? Well, change means that you have to, and this is something I really am struggling with in different areas of my life, but if you're going to adopt this 302 lifestyle mindset, then that means that you have to, first of all, become aware of what you don't like or what you don't want, which should be easy because, like I said, 2/3 of your brain is set up to process this negative thinking. And by the way, we think 40 to, sorry, don't quote me exactly, but it's anywhere from 40 to 65,000 thoughts a day. And on studies, they've discovered that 90% on average of your thoughts are negative thoughts. So it's a big deal. Someone say, oh, I'm going to say affirmations, or I'm going to say, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. But the problem is you're going to say these affirmations and your brain is going to process something completely different. So the first step in becoming or changing or making new habits is going to be becoming aware of the things that you don't want, that aren't conducive to the change that you're trying to make. So let's start with smoking. Okay, I smoked for many years. And in order for me to stop smoking, number one, I had to become aware that I hated it. I just don't like it anymore. It's not serving me. People around me don't like it. I had to become so hyper aware of the thing about smoking that I didn't like. You could use this with working out. If I'm gonna create a new habit to change, to start working out or become healthy, you could use this with food. If I'm gonna create a new habit for eating healthier, right? You've got to become aware of what you don't like about the thing that you're trying to change. And it makes it easier to decide that you're gonna change. So for me to stop smoking cigarettes, I had to say, okay, I don't like it. Number one, it makes everything stink. The car, the clothes, my hands, my body, my skin, my hair, like literally everything that smoke touches, it stinks. Sorry to burst your bubble if you're smoking a cigarette right now, but it's the truth. It stinks. It stinks so bad. And you know this. So for me, that's what I did. I started being really aware of that. Every time I smoked, I just couldn't stand it anymore because I was focusing on it. So once I couldn't stand that, now it starts staining my teeth. So I become aware of that. People around me don't like it unless they're smokers too. So surrounding yourself with people that I'm leading into the next one, but becoming aware of the thing you don't like about what you want to change. Now you need to know what it is you want it to be different. So I want to become a non-smoker. Well, what does that look like? So now you need to imagine what it looks like to not be a smoker or to be a healthy person, to be in shape. Um, well, okay, it looks great. I actually feel better. I don't cough. I don't. I got my teeth whitened. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to go outside when it's freezing cold or storming or raining or a million degrees. I don't. I can stay inside. Whoop, camera died. So all these great things you need to be aware of that you want to change. If I want to be healthy, so that would be step two, becoming the person that you want to be, or the new habit or the change that you want to have happen. You need to know what that is. You need to be very conscious of that new change. Now, the third part will be I had to surround myself with people that don't smoke. So my wife didn't smoke. If you hang out in a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut, So I don't want to surround myself with people smoking cigarettes, or I don't want to surround myself with people eating unhealthy. I don't want to surround myself with the old habits and routines. Remember what I said, when you're walking a path over and over again, your body is going to go right back into that dirt road, that pavement road. So your nerve cells are going to fire again. So if you surround yourself with the same routines and habits, that you were doing when you were smoking or when you were eating bad or whatever it may be, you're going to do it again. It's a habit. It's ingrained in you. Your brain literally will fight you on it. It's like a dog. If you need to change, you have to fight this beast. It's this machine that is set up to do habits, right? Okay, so surround yourself with people that are the new person. Okay, once you do that, here's the big kicker, okay? Um, you need to do the new habit for 6 to 8 weeks. So this is the hardest part. Most people will do things, including myself, for a week or two. You miss a day or two, and then you just kind of beat yourself up, or you just say, oh, forget it, and you go right back into your old routines and habits. So the biggest thing to do is set, what I'll do sometimes is I'll have a calendar, I have a journal, or I have something like that, and I will literally cross off, just like a little kid. When I was good in preschool, I used to get like a cookie. As long as I was good, I would get all the X marks on that week, and if I made it to the end of the week, I would get a reward. So there's actually a lot of scientific study in this. If you reward yourself, literally just like a little kid, you say, okay, if I complete this task or if I do this thing for X amount of days, I'm going to reward myself. It could be a massage. It could be a piece of chocolate. It could be literally anything that stimulates your brain. You're going to reward yourself with. Okay. So you're going to do this though, and you're going to give yourself little rewards along the way, or it could be even daily. So one of the biggest things I learned about habits is that if you attach a new habit to an old habit, it's a lot easier. So for instance, if I want to start journaling every morning and I just can't seem to do it, I can't seem to remember, I go about my day and all of a sudden I'm like halfway through the day and I forgot that I was supposed to journal, um, in the morning. Well, what you can do is, okay, I drink coffee every morning. Well, now I'm going to set a new rule, and I even put a note, there if I need to. I haven't done this exactly thing, but this exact thing, but you can put a note in front of the coffee saying, don't forget, you need to journal before you have this cup of coffee. So your brain will say, to freak out for a second, but you'll know, okay, you need to be firm with yourself. You need to set this law or this rule inside of yourself and say, I'm not going to break, these couple rules, and stick with it. And that's how you're going to create a new habit. So I'm going to journal before I get my cup of coffee. If I don't smoke, just for today or just this hour, or if I don't smoke, when I wake up this morning, I'm going to, have a piece of candy or something, or I'm going to do whatever it is. You're going to set little rewards along the way to keep your brain knowing, just like a dog, okay, I like this. I actually like working out because I get to have a smoothie afterwards, or I get to go out to eat at my favorite place at the end of the week. You're literally training your brain just like a dog. So it sounds crazy, but this stuff really works. There's actually science that backs all this stuff up. And I've been doing little things here and there, practicing and experimenting on myself. And this stuff works, but it's extremely difficult if you're not dedicated to changing. So, okay, long story short, I'm rambling on here a little bit, but you're going to set rewards for yourself. So at the end of that thing, end of that day, end of that hour, end of that week, end of that month, you're going to reward yourself, and your brain is going to feel good about it. If it's your cell phone, if you're addicted to your cell phone, okay, when I wake up, I'm actually going to put my cell phone outside my room. So I have to get up out of bed to go in there and look at it. Set little things along the way so you can reward yourself after you're done with it. And then the biggest key, like I said, is 6 to 8 weeks. So they say it's 60, I think it's 67 times you need to do a specific thing before your brain remembers it as any type of habit. So remember, 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to do the same thing over and over again. Make a goal for yourself. Envision the person that you need to be in order to create this new habit, whether it's exercise, food, all these things. And the 302 lifestyle is all about no stress, slowing down, eating healthy, enjoying the beach. So if you're trying to make all these new habits and you're shedding all these old habits from the city life or high stress environments, just remember it's going to take you 6 to 8 weeks. Dedicate yourself and set little goals along the way, and then reward yourself. Be nice to yourself. Get a massage, and surround yourself with people that encourage you to change. So if you're in your old habitat, your old environment, sometimes changing can be extremely difficult because your body and your mind are conditioned to act and do and think a certain way in that environment. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Let me know if you like stuff like this. I am really passionate about these things, and I want you guys to live the 302 lifestyle. And I think we're all on this journey together. And sometimes even living here, you kind of get lost in your life without remembering that you're next to one of the greatest tools for having an incredible life. It's called the beach. So anyways, guys, enjoy the life, enjoy the 302, and we'll see you next time.
Wish you could spend more time having fun and less time with chores? Go to 302beachtalk.com to get $20 off a home cleaning. You'll be entered to win a completely free cleaning. Eat, play, serve. Sponsored by That Guy with a Broom.
And Urban Float.